Alexandra Levine welcomes you to the Alexandra Levine live podcast. Today we've got a packed show from breaking news to informative topics that will keep you well informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of her upcoming episodes. If you like what Alexandra talks about, then please share the Alexandra Levine live to others. Alexandra also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Alexandra Levine live podcast starts now.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello. This is Alexandra Levine live with the America's Pulse Network. You are all in tonight with me, Alexandra Levine. Thank you for joining me tonight. We have major breaking news. As you saw, the title of this episode is called Time to Campaign. Let's put up the first slide. Time to campaign. Just in, President Trump will travel to Iowa to kick off his 2026 midterm rallies in 2024 presidential campaign style next week. Once again, President Donald Trump will try to save the Republican Party from losing. Keep pushing 47. This is huge. As you know, Iowa kind of starts it out. We have the Iowa caucuses. As you know, President Trump won the state of Iowa like 94%. It's a huge red state. Those are the farmers. That's the backbone of our nation. People love President Trump in Iowa. And we love to see that President Trump is going to come out on the campaign trail and campaign all over this nation. Because as I've said before in previous episodes, we have a very small margin within the House of Representatives. And unfortunately, we have a lot of congressmen and women that have decided to retire or leave before their term is up. So there's a lot of open seats. What we're finding in these open seats is that they're flipping from R to D. They just had a special election in Virginia. It was a seat that had been Republican for years and years and years, and all of a sudden it flipped Democrat the other day. So we can't have that, guys. And even though President Trump's name is not going to be on the ticket, his agenda will be. And by him traveling all over this nation, you will see the wrath of how powerful his endorsement is, how powerful he is, and how powerful our country will be 2 years from now once the Republicans win the midterms, expand the House of Representatives, keep the Senate, and hopefully we'll get really good Republican governors in the next year or so after that. And we also need to expand the local races, the municipality. We have state delegates, we have state senators that are running, county councilmen. It is time for the MAGA movement, the America First movement, to expand. And that's why the 2026 midterms are extremely important, especially the primaries. Other breaking news, Bill O'Reilly, as you know, he was known for the O'Reilly Factor on Fox News, and he has been on Newsmax, and he's had his own podcast. Veteran television host Bill O'Reilly announced that he had an unspecified illness and an update on his website. We don't know what that illness is. We don't know if it's cancer. We don't know if it's something terminal. But the 76-year-old's update did not provide details, stating, quote, "Hey, No Spin Nation. Sorry, I'm dealing with a malady. We have great doctors, so we'll fight the good fight. Doesn't affect my fingers, so we will update you on my news cycle and anything major. Hopefully back in the saddle shortly." Our prayers go out to Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly is a Trump supporter. Bill O'Reilly has always been a very fair and balanced journalist. Bill O'Reilly is a true journalist. He went to journalism school, and he is a veteran, a seasoned veteran, very good journalist. And our prayers go out to Bill O'Reilly, and we hope that he gets better soon. And this is good news, good breaking news. Usha Vance, the first lady, or the wife of the vice president, J.D. Vance, they announced that she is pregnant with their fourth child. They're having a boy in July. This is amazing. As you know, there's been speculation about their marriage, if they're on the outs, if they're going to get divorced, if he's going to leave her for Erica Kirk. All these rumors stemmed. This poor woman, this poor family has gone through such hell. Congratulations to you guys. Congratulations. It proves that the vice president and his wife are still very much in love. As you can see, they're having sexual relations. And their love has just grown more and more. And the birth of a baby is so beautiful. And we applaud them. And she's 40 years old. I mean, she's young. There's a lot of women that are getting pregnant at 40, 41, 42, sometimes for the first time in their life. So Congratulations to Second Lady Usha Vance on the announcement of her pregnancy. We hope that she has a great pregnancy. We hope that she goes to full term and that she has an easy labor. Hopefully she gets a lot of drugs, an epidural. And we know that she's going to have lots of help as the first lady. Second lady. Hello. She'll have lots of help, and she will be on that campaign trail being pregnant and showing off her beautiful pregnant belly. As you know, Vivek, his wife, is about to burst with their third child any minute now. I actually saw her at a campaign event. She's got like 3 weeks to go, and they're having a baby girl. And it was so beautiful to see the wives of these politicians or the wives of people that are running for office. And I mean, pregnancy is contagious, guys. Pregnancy is contagious. So you got Vivek's wife that's about to pop. Now Usha Vance is pregnant. Caroline Levitt is pregnant. Who else is going to be pregnant this year? So we'll look to see what other political figure, the next public figure, is to get pregnant. But pregnancy is contagious, guys, and it's a beautiful thing. Every woman and man should be embracing this. I don't care if you like these people or not. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and God bless them. Now moving on into segment 1. So segment 1 talks about President Trump and Greenland. As you know, President Trump is in Davos, Switzerland right now, speaking at the World Economic Forum, kicking butt, talking about the country of Greenland, saying how he wants to take over Greenland. He wants the United States involved. There was a funny meme that the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, was going to be the president of Greenland. Hilarious. Let's put up the first slide. At Real Donald Trump. So Real Donald Trump said, and this was yesterday, based upon a very productive meeting that I have had with the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, we have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. This solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations. Based upon this understanding, I will not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled to go into effect on February 1st. Additional discussions are being held concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. Further information will be made available as discussions progress. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and various others as needed will be responsible for the negotiations. I think Jared Kushner is involved in this as well, which is President Trump's son-in-law. They will report directly to me. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. This is great. This is something phenomenal for the country. I hope that everybody, regardless if you like President Trump or not, understand what's going on here. I mean, he goes to the World Economic Forum. He's kicking butt. He's on top of the world. Now, for the first time in years, America is respected again. And as you know, President Trump is the businessman. He's the builder. You know, he knows how to run things. He knows how to build things. And he knows the economy like no other. And he's trying to boost the economy for America. This is a big win for the country, for America. And let's go to the next slide, rapid response. So if you heard him today, which I did, President Trump was live with the money honey, Maria Bartiromo, on Mornings with Maria. She always goes to the World Economic Forum. We love Maria Bartiromo. She's fair and balanced. She loves President Trump. And he said today to her on the Greenland framework, quote, essentially it's total access. There's no end. There's no time limit. We're going to have all military access that we want. We're going to not have to pay anything other than the fact that we are building the Golden Dome. So like I said before, he's talking about building the Golden Dome. This is very, very important. He's talking about going to have all military access that we want. That means that Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, is involved in this as well. And again, this is a big thing. This is a big win for our country. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is right there with Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and also Jared Kushner. I mean, this is a huge thing, guys, for America. Again, great for the economy. That's why Maria Bartiromo was there in Davos. That's why she got the exclusive interview with President Trump this morning. He loves her. She loves him. And this is a big deal for the American people. Let's go to the next slide at Eric Dougherty. Or Dougherty. I always mispronounce his name. So what Eric Dougherty said, and we're going to make that just a little bit bigger on the other side, so my audience can read it. There we go. President Trump vows to fight like hell. Again, this is talking about the 2026 midterms. Again, remember, the episode is called Time to Campaign, exclamation, exclamation. Let's go 2024 style. We should do well, he said, and we're going to fight like hell to do well. There's something psychological if you're president. No matter how well you do, you don't do well in the midterms. Dems have had good years but lose the midterms. For whatever reason, it's 2 out of the last 50 years incumbent party won. How is that possible? If we grow, pay off debt, if we win SCOTUS, it will be so incredible. Pay off the debt, issue dividends. President Trump doesn't want to see a flip in the House of Representatives like we saw in his first term. We Americans do not want a Speaker Hakeem Jeffries. God forbid, as we say in Yiddish, Kenahara. We cannot have a Hakeem Jeffries as the Speaker of the House. We all know what he's all about. He caters and kowtows to illegals. We know this. We know that he does dealings with the terrorists overseas. We know that he doesn't give a damn about you and that he is in the hands and the pockets of these socialists like George Soros and so forth. And he does Chuck Schumer's bidding. You do not want a Hakeem Jeffries ever as your Speaker of the House. That's why it's so important that Speaker Johnson gets on board with President Trump, as well as Speaker Majority of the Senate, Senate Majority Leader John Thune needs to get on board with President Trump, and enough is enough. And J.D. Vance, as the president of the Senate, is going to be working with Senate Majority Leader John Thune and many others in the Senate, and Speaker Johnson and heads of the House of Representatives, such as Steve Scalise and others, to push and expand the House of Representatives to keep it Republican, to expand our majority so we can get crap done. We're getting a lot of stuff done. President Trump knew he had to get a lot of stuff done before his first 100 days. He's been exactly a year in office. I was there at the inauguration. Were you? I know there's a lot of people in my audience that was there in the very, very cold, standing out, waiting for President Trump to come in the Capitol Arena. I went to one of the presidential balls. I stood in the cold for 3 hours to see President Trump. And then when I got there, I had to stand for another 3.5 hours to see him come out and dance with his wife and his children and so forth. But let me tell you something, it was worth it. It was really worth it. But it's very important that we see the future of America. President Trump, as our leader, sees the future of America. But I've said this before on my show, and I'm going to say it again, he cannot do it alone. He cannot do it alone. He is one man. And we're very fortunate. He's got a lot of great people in his cabinet right now. But we, the people, we, his voters, need to help too. We need to get up off our butts and we need to actually do something. We need to recruit proper conservatives, proper people into the House of Representatives and into local races as well. We saw with this guy, Mondami, he creeps in out of nowhere. I talk to you guys all the time about Congressman Johnny Olszewski in Maryland, how he started out as a state delegate, then became a county executive, and now he's a congressman, and he's a socialist Democrat. Remember, they start locally and they creep their way all the way up. That's what they do. God forbid Mondami becomes a congressman one day, another Kenahara. We can't have this, guys. And the squad, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, AOC, these idiots come out of nowhere. They could try to be president of the United States one day. AOC could. People are saying, oh, she's a force to be reckoned with. Beware of her, beware. Because she's young and she's got a lot of money behind her. A lot of evil people behind her. It's not, the Chuck Schumers you have to be worried about. It's her. Well, got to get her out of there. Got to get her out of there. But it's up to we the people to do it. Again, President Trump can only do so much. But it's very important, guys, that we Republicans get out there. The problem is that a lot of Republicans are complicit, especially Republicans that are hardcore Trump supporters that vote in every single election. Sometimes they sit back and don't vote during the midterms when President Trump's name isn't on the ballot. We can't do that anymore. We saw what happened in Virginia. We saw what happened in New York and New Jersey. And we don't want that. We don't want that at all. That's why it's so important that the House of Representatives, that you push Congress in general to codify President Trump's executive orders. We'll talk about that in segment 2. But guys, we have to work together as a unit. We have to unify and come together, and we have to work with each other. We don't have to love one another, but President Trump is the head of the Republican Party. We must support him and endorse him and stand by him. Enough is enough. Enough of the division. Seriously. And as I told you last week, former Governor Larry Hogan decided not to run for governor, even though there was speculation. But what the idiot is doing is instead of him running, he's pushing his minions to run in very hardcore conservative areas in Maryland. He sits behind the sidelines. And you know what Larry Hogan is doing behind the scenes? Making sure that Governor Westmore wins re-election, like he did when Governor Westmore first got elected. That's what Larry Hogan does. He makes deals with the devil. He helps Democrats, and he pushes his Rhino/Democrat agenda. That's why I beg the people of Maryland, I beg the Republican constituents of Maryland to vote against Larry Hogan and Larry Hogan's agenda and the people that Larry Hogan is trying to push. Anybody that Larry Hogan stands by and pushes and endorses and supports, is a no good, Nick. And I thank the people of Maryland for rejecting him for the United States Senate seat. He's just as worse as Angela Asselbrook. Angela Asselbrook is horrible. But if Larry Hogan would have won, oh my God, real conservatives like Tim Fazenmaker, Kim Stansbury, and many others, they wouldn't even have a shot in hell of ever being anything. Andy Harris is fighting for his life to keep his congressional seat because now they're redistricting his district and trying to make it Democrat. They want to weed him out and make Maryland have all 8 congressional districts Democrat. It just keeps getting more Democrat every single year. So again, it's up to we the people to stand up and fight. Stand up and fight against the BS, call it out. As you know, Governor Westmore, Attorney General Anthony Brown, Baltimore City Mayor Brandon Scott, they're DEI leaders. They call themselves DEI leaders. They combat ICE every single turn. Now you have a Jewish Democrat named Itzi Patoka, who's running for Baltimore County Executive, on the Baltimore County Council. He's pushing anti-ICE legislation, comparing ICE to the Holocaust, calling ICE modern day Gestapo. His parents, I don't know if they're alive today, but if they are alive, they should just give them a kick in the head or put them over their knee and spank them. Unbelievable to use the Holocaust as a reference to compare to illegal immigration. What an idiot. And everybody, I hope, sees the BS. Nobody wants that. Majority of the people do not want that in this country. That's why it's so important that we get out and support President Trump and we combat these socialist Democrats, these idiots, and they know what they're doing. They know what they're saying. They know what they're saying is BS. But again, they're bought and paid for. They're bought and paid for. They live in very liberal states, liberal cities, liberal counties, liberal districts. So they got to push this BS crap. They have to push this false narrative. That's why I applaud people like Tim Fazenmaker and Kimberly Stansbury for calling these morons out. But again, those are only 2 people also. Baltimore County is a huge county. Maryland's a huge state. But also, I challenge everyone that lives in liberal states, liberal cities, liberal districts all over this country. And even some Republican states and Republican districts that have rhinos there. I deal with rhino legislators in Florida. I couldn't believe it. Rhino legislators in the state of Florida with a very hardcore conservative governor, my governor, Governor Ron DeSantis. It kills me every time. It kills me. Rhinos in North Carolina that wouldn't do the redistricting, that kowtowed to Democrats. Unbelievable. That's why you get rid of them. You get rid of them and you call them out. And that's what President Trump is going to be doing. He's going to get rid of what they call the rhinos or the worms of the party and putting in real people, real hardcore conservatives that give a damn about this country and will push his agenda and believe in America and believe in America first. Let's put up the next slide of Eric Dougherty. So Eric Dougherty wrote, this also has to do with President Trump's interview with Maria Bartiromo. President Trump just nailed it. Quote, they've been fighting me for 10 years and here we are. Because Maria Bartiromo asked him the question, about the Democrats and the rhinos. She's like, what are you going to do? They've been fighting you. And he responded, he says, you're right. They have been fighting me, Maria. They've been fighting me for 10 years and here we are. They're very unfair. They're sick. In many cases, they're mentally ill. They've got a problem. Men and women, sports, transgender, for everybody, open borders, people from the Congo. I mean, it's crazy. And President Trump, when he goes on the trail, is going to talk about all these things. He's going to say, how can you vote Democrat? How can you support a Democrat? This is what the Democrats support. They have no real substance. They have no agenda. They can't really campaign because their records are awful. They lie and they BS. They say, oh, President Trump wants to get rid of IVF. President Trump wants to get rid of healthcare. President Trump is a bully. They attack President Trump thinking that that narrative is going to work. It's not working, guys. Democrats actually saw the BS. That's why a lot of them #Jexited the Democrat Party and voted for President Trump in 2024. President Trump had a huge influx of Black Americans, Democrat Blacks, Jewish Democrats, Hispanics that voted for him. I know, I saw it. I worked with him. I talked to a lot of Democrats. Where my building in Montgomery County, Maryland, which is one of the most liberal Democrat counties in the country, the majority of the security guards are Black. They're Democrats. They all voted for Trump. There's a lot of these Black rappers, Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Amber Rose. They all voted for Trump. A lot of people in the entertainment business that were Democrats voted for Trump in the general. Trump got a surge of gay people that voted for him in the general. Gay Democrats. He worked a lot with the youth. So did J.D. Vance. Libertarians to vote Republican, to vote for Trump in the general. It's important, guys. It's important that we work with President Trump so that he can help you cross the aisle. There's a lot of Republicans that have problems crossing the aisle. They win the primary, and then they go to cross the aisle or talk to Democrats and independents, and they have no clue. They don't want to talk to them. They don't want to compromise. You don't have to compromise your hardcore beliefs. You can come to a consensus. At the end of the day, you can agree with some of these people that are not of your party. I've told you guys before, I'm very good friends with moderate Democrats. They support a lot of things that I say. I've had a lot of moderate Democrats that have changed their parties, voted Republican. And I've had a lot of moderate Democrats that vote Republican in the general. Because you have to talk to them. You have to engage with them. You can't just see them once in a blue moon or not talk to them at all, avoid them. Especially if you live in a liberal state, liberal county, liberal district. You need their vote. So if you're a Republican and you win that primary, it doesn't matter what state, district, whatever, you got to go and campaign and cross the aisle and talk to Democrats. Sometimes you have to go to even deep blue areas like A.L.L did when he ran for governor. I was with him at CPAC a couple of years ago. He said, my political consultant, it wasn't me, he said, my political consultant told me not to go to Manhattan because there's no way in hell that the Democrats, especially the Jewish Democrats in Manhattan, would vote for me. Well, guess what? He didn't take the advice of the consultant, which I'm glad he didn't, because if I was his consultant, I would have told him to go to Manhattan. So he didn't take the advice of his consultant. He went to Manhattan, and guess what? He picked up a lot of votes. He barely lost to Kathy Hochul. I actually thought he was going to pull it off. He barely lost to the woman, especially when it got to 2 weeks before the general election. He was very close. But he went to some of those deep blue areas and talked to people. Talk to Democrats. He was not afraid. Just because it's a very deep blue area doesn't mean that you can't change somebody's mind. My friend Gregory Cole, who ran for Congress in Maryland, District 8 against Jamie Raskin, he literally won the election if it wasn't for the mail-in ballots. Because he was on the metro and he stopped at every deep blue area and gave everybody his palm card that came off of the subway or the metro, excuse me. And he said out of maybe the 3,000 people that he talked to, only 2 people threw his palm card down in the trash. But he won. He won early voting in the Democrat areas, and he won on election day. But if it wasn't for the mail-in ballots in Montgomery County, he actually would have won the election. That's why it's very important to get rid of these damn mail-in ballots, because there's a lot of illegals, as you know, that live in Montgomery County. But it's people like Gregory Cole and Lee Zeldin and Tim Fazenbaker and Kim Stansberry and many others that will go to a Democrat and talk to them across the aisle. John Myrick's doing that too. He's running for governor in Maryland right now. You cannot be afraid. Do not call them your enemy. They're your constituents. They're going to be your constituents if you're not already in office. So it's very important, guys. It's very important that we support President Trump, follow his agenda, campaign with him, do everything we can to expand our party, expand the House of Representatives Keep it Republican. Expand the municipalities. Get proper governors in our states. People that support our values, even if it's somebody that's never run for office at all. There's some great people out there that have some great business sense. They know how to run a country, or they know how to run a state, a county, a district. I've seen it. As you know, as a political consultant, I'm extremely, extremely careful who I take into my wing or take under my wing. I heavily vet my clients now because I want to make sure that it's someone that gives a damn about the people, but someone that will do the work. A lot of times people come to me and they're like, well, I'm hiring you because I want you to do everything. No, that's not my job. My job is to give you advice. My job is not to do your job for you. If you don't want to do the job, then don't run. You have to do the job. You have to make a business plan. You can't just sit around and have other people do your job for you. That's not how life works. If you are really serious and you really want to run, you really want to help this country, reach out to me, go to livingconsulting.co, book a consultation with me today. I'm not only helping on the state and federal level, but I'm also helping on the local level as well, because politics is local, and it's very important that we get proper conservatives on the local level. I never used to really think about the local level, to be honest. I always thought federal is so important because Congress passes the laws, but we're finding out with the school boards and the municipalities, in the delegations and the caucuses and mayoral candidates and mayors and governors that are hardcore libs. You have those in there, you'll never get them out. And the school boards, as you know, are really screwing our children. You know that. So guys, we got to get out the vote. We have to get out and we have to do our jobs. Let's go to the next slide. So I think this is the last one. So my friend Eric Dougherty, again, commenting on what President Trump said with Maria Bartiromo, Mornings with Maria. President Trump predicts the Democrats will shut down the government again, January 30th is coming up, to impact the economy for the midterms, of course. This is why the filibuster needs to be nuked. Get it done. I think we have a problem because I think we're going to probably end up in another Democrat shutdown. Remember, the shutdown has nothing to do with President Trump. This is the Chuck Schumer shutdown. The shutdown cost us a lot, and I think they'll probably do it again. That's my feeling. And if they do it again, American people, be smart here. It's the Democrats that push this. It's not President Trump. It's not the Republicans. It's not Speaker Johnson. It is the Democrats that are pushing this. I agree with President Trump that the filibuster needs to be nuked, but who can do that? Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who went on TV saying, no, the filibuster's been there for years. We're not getting rid of it. And I'm not a fan of John Thune. Never was. He's Mitch McConnell light. As you know, I supported my Senator Rick Scott as the Senate Majority Leader. Unfortunately, he didn't have the votes, but he's one of the most America First guys in the Senate. And he did a great job as my governor of Florida, and he's doing a great job as the senator of Florida. Rick Scott is a billionaire businessman. He's known President Trump for a long time, and he gets stuff done. Rick Scott gets stuff done. But we're dealing with John Thune right now. Yeah, I agree with my friend Jorge. Local politics are crucial to terminate feudalism. I agree with that too. Any authentic politician has to be able to go to opposing territories and stand its ground and speak the truth. I agree with that too. And my friend Donald Willinger, fear equals false evidence appearing real. True. Very true. But again, this is really important, guys. It's really, really important that we campaign, we fight like hell, we don't become complicit, and do not give money to the RNC and all these committees and central committees and state parties. They're not going to do crap for your money. Give to the candidate. Give to the actual candidate. I've said that many times. In 2024, there was only one person I gave money to, and that was Donald John Trump. I did not give to any state parties. I did not give to any central committees. I did not give to any caucuses. I gave to one man, and so did my parents, Donald John Trump. Save America PAC. That's who I gave my money to. When my governor, Ron DeSantis, ran for governor, My father and I, we went straight to him and we said, Ron, this money we wanted in your hands, not with the Sarasota GOP, not with the RNC. We want you to have the money. And we made sure, because we saw him. He took the envelopes from our hands and put it in his jacket pocket, because my father was very concerned that Governor DeSantis would not get the money directly. That's how we roll. That's how everyone should roll. If you want your real candidate in there, you give him the money. I give Tim Fazenbaker money all the time. I don't give it to a central committee. I give it directly to him. Kim Stansberry, I give the money directly to her. That's how you do it, guys. That's how you do it. Vivek Ramaswamy, money didn't go to the Ohio GOP. Money went directly to him in his campaign, directly to him. Made sure that the check was in his hand. That's how you have to do it, guys. But don't take my word for it. I've only been in this business since 2015. But listen to President Trump on this, guys. He's going to campaign like hell. I encourage everybody to go to his rallies if you can, wherever you are, because he's going to be all over this nation. You can always go to his website, whitehouse.gov, and many others, to see where his rallies are going to be. Hopefully they'll be in your location. Maybe you'll get to see him. If you've never been to a Trump rally, I advise you to go. It's fun. You meet so many people. I have so many friends now I never thought I'd have. And they're friends for life. It's a new family. And there's moments where you're standing outside for hours or standing inside for hours, but it's worth it. And it's a lot of fun. Again, before our break, don't forget my affiliate sponsor, FoliumPX.com. The toxic heavy metals, full body detox, free radical support. I love these supplements because they have helped me so much in reduction of stress, in reduction of weight, in reduction of helping me with sleep, helping me with energy. I had a full day today. Like, I've been up since like 8 this morning. I've been working all day since 7:30. Now I'm doing this show. And look, I still have a lot of energy. I haven't fallen asleep yet. And that's because of these supplements. So go to FoliumPX.com. This is one pill that does everything. And there's the QR code right there. It is my personal discount code to you, to my viewers. And I just want to say thank you tonight for people that are watching and commenting. I know there's a lot of people that are watching and not commenting. Again, follow us at America's Pulse Network. We are currently live on the major social media outlets such as YouTube, Rumble, True Social, Parler, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. That's seven. In addition to my social media, in addition to other social medias that we're implementing as well. So there's so many ways to follow us, so many ways to like and subscribe, so many ways to sponsor us. The more the merrier, guys. The more the merrier. Please tell your friends. And what's great is that you could be on YouTube and X watching us at the same time. You can be on Rumble and TikTok and Parler and True Social watching us all at the same time. It's fabulous. I mean, I have all of my social medias up right now. All 8 social medias of mine are up, including America's Pulse Network. So that's double. I mean, that's quadruple. I mean, it's phenomenal. So it's very important, guys. It's very, very important that you follow us, because we are real news. And we are, again, we're one of the new conservative media people at the White House. And we are so happy. We are so happy that we are able to give you the real news in real time. And we'll be right back after the break.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Levine. I'm a professional opera singer, actress, TV, and radio personality. Since 2015, I've been a volunteer, a field director, and a campaign manager, learning the ins and outs of the political world. That's why I became a political consultant. My job is to lead you to victory with organization, structure, and the mindset of winning for your district or state. With my guidance and direction, I can keep you focused on the things that matter to the people and advise you on key issues that need to be addressed. If you're a serious candidate that is serious about winning, then book a consultation with me today. Go to levineconsulting.co. You'll be happy you did.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to Alexandra Levine Live. You are all in time with me, Alexandra Levine, on the America's Pulse Network. Segment 2 starts with Pass the SAVE Act. As you know, the SAVE Act is a huge piece of legislation that Congress is trying to pass, and the president wants to sign it into law. Again, it's about codifying the executive orders. This has to do with the election. This has to do with getting rid of mail-in ballots. This has to do with getting rid of the damn machines. This has to do with paper ballots all the way. This has to do with requiring photo ID for every single state, all 50 states. Because as you know, in the liberal states, they do not require photo ID. And they have a bunch of illegals, illegal criminals, illegal terrorists, underage people, dead people voting in our elections. We must have free and fair elections, so we cannot have a repeat of the 2020 election. Thank you to the people in 2024 that voted for President Trump, that pushed his agenda forward. This was a referendum on his agenda. But if we don't get the SAVE Act passed, then we're just going to have cheating after cheating and unfair elections year after year after year. The House of Representatives, they passed the SAVE Act in April. That was 9 months ago. 9 months ago it was passed. Why the hell is it taking the Senate so long to pass this act? It's insane. And President Trump and J.D. Vance and so forth are looking into pushing this. So we have this from Action Pact. Congress must pass the SAVE Act. Call your senator and urge them to co-sponsor Senate 128 today. These are the Republican senators that are against this. Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming, which I'm baffled by. Senator John Boozman of Arkansas, Senator Katie Britt of Alabama, Senator Shelley Capito of West Virginia, Susan Collins, we know she's an idiot, of Maine, Senator John Curtis of Utah, Senator Deb Fischer of Nebraska, Senator Chuck Grassley, another rhino of Iowa, Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, of course, Senator Mitch McConnell's not going to vote for it, of Kentucky because he's out the door retiring. Senator Dave McCormick, well, I know Senator Dave McCormick, he just switched actually, and he is going to vote to pass it. And he's been working actually with John Fetterman to get John Fetterman to vote for it. Senator Jerry Morgan, Murkowski, forget her. Peter Ricketts of Nebraska, John Thune, forget him. Roger Wicker, and Senator Todd Young. So if these guys are your senators, I encourage you to call them. Put the pressure. Do a petition. Petitions do work, by the way. A lot of people are like, oh, petitions don't work. They don't look at it. If you get a significant amount of signatures, oh, yes, the freak they do. I did a petition to remove CARE from the Anti-Hate Commission in Maryland permanently. I got 10,000 signatures. Over 10,000 people, Jews and non-Jews, voted to get rid of CARE from the Anti-Hate Commission. And let me tell you something, because of that petition, because of those over 10,000 signatures, it was a unanimous vote across the board to get rid of CARE from the Anti-Hate Commission. So petitions do work. They really do. But this is important, guys. Don't you want to have free and fair elections? I guess these senators don't. They give money regardless. Remember, when socialism and special interests and lobbyists come knocking at your door and they give you money and you take it, they have the power of the purse. There are so many lobbyists and special interest groups on Capitol Hill. I've called for the removal of them for many years because they control the power of the purse. These lobbyists make an F load of money. They make over $400,000 a year plus. Remember the movie The American President? Annette Bening was a lobbyist seducing Michael Douglas, who's the president of the United States. Because of her, he didn't push certain legislation forward because he was in love with her. But she's a lobbyist. That's what she does. What does a lobbyist do? They lobby for certain things that they want. And a lot of it is Democrat talking points. Like those idiots that want to push Puerto Rico to be the 51st state. Those morons. That is what we're fighting against. Or these people that, they want to get rid of Columbus Day and call it Indigenous Day. Those are damn lobbyists. Frickin' Democrats, Democrat talking points, liberal talking points on frickin' Capitol Hill. I'm so tired of it. Tired of it. It's not the political consultants that are the a-holes. It's the lobbyists and the special interests on Capitol Hill. I've said this for many years. But if you are a concerned voter and you care about free and fair election and you want to have a free and fair election, then I advise you to contact your senator and have them push this. And once it gets passed in the Senate, it goes back to the House of Representatives and it goes on President Trump's desk. And President Trump wants to get this done before the midterms. He's actually suggesting and pushing for an RNC convention before the midterms, which I think is brilliant because we want wins across the board for the Republican Party. President Trump is tired of the Republicans getting screwed. I'm tired of the Republicans getting screwed. I'm tired of conservatives getting screwed by rhinos and Democrats. There's some good people out there. There's some great people out there that give a crap about our country. And they, in my opinion, deserve to be in office. They put the people first, not themselves. And that's what it's all about. They want to take care of their constituents. They put their families first too. They're not high and mighty. They're not self-righteous. They don't just wake up and say, hey, I think I'm going to run. No, they have a plan together and they want to run because they're tired of themselves getting screwed and they want to help their neighbor. It's about helping your neighbor. But if you, again, like I talked about, complicity. If you sit back and do nothing, then nothing good will come of it. Nothing proper gets passed. Again, it's very important. And Elon Musk, to his credit, said this when he worked at Doge. He said, we have to codify Doge. We have to codify the executive orders. This is insane. 9 months, guys. House of Representatives passed the SAVE Act in April. 9 months ago. Disgusting. Utterly disgusting. So my question to my audience, what are you guys going to do? What are you going to do to push your senator to vote for the SAVE Act? What are you going to do to make a difference? Because it only takes one person to make a difference. It really does. And we, the people, remember, we have the power of the purse. They work for us. We don't work for them. Remember that. They work for us. They will always work for us. Always. It's not their district. It's not their seat. They got elected because of their voters, their constituents. We put them in there. It is not their seat to claim or their district to claim. We voted them in. We put them in power. They had to call us and convince us to get their vote. And guess what? We have the power to take that vote away from them. So don't let them take advantage of you. Don't rely on the same old. If you're not happy with your congressman or your senator, call them out. They're not going to shadow ban you. They're not going to block you. They actually want discrepancy. They want to know what they're not doing. I've called out congressmen for voting for certain things. I've called out senator for voting for certain things too. I wish, I question, what the hell? Some of them, they'll reach back out to me and tell me why. When they don't reach back out to me, I know that they did it for the wrong reasons. I want explanations, demand explanations from your elected officials, from your representatives. You have that right. Don't think if you question them, all of a sudden they're going to blacklist you or they're going to arrest you. No, that's not how it works. I want everybody to get up off their butt and do something about it. Because again, I'm only one person too. And everybody on my show knows I'm one woman that does 50 million things. I got 20 million hats because I cannot sit by and not do anything. I cannot sit by and allow our country to go down the toilet. But I can tell you I'm very optimistic for the future of this country. I really am. I'm very optimistic. But it's up to we the people to keep it that way. Oh, before we go to our next segment, don't forget we have another affiliate sponsor, rncstore.com/ALL. The more you spend, the more you get off. But Richardson Nutritional Center is fabulous. His supplements actually help people with stage 4 cancer and other things. Also helps with immunity, also helps with weight loss. I use his supplements too. The apricot seeds are amazing and so forth. Guys, everybody knows John Richardson. He's been on my show multiple times. And because of my show, now he's touring all over the country and the world promoting RNC or promoting Richardson Nutritional Center. So kudos to him. And it started right here, guys, right here on Alexandra Levine Live. It started right here on my show. I had him on once a month, twice a month. And he got big because of my show. And now he's on a book tour and so forth. So I'm so happy for his success. Hopefully he'll be back on after he finishes his tour, and he'll tell us the wonderful things that is going on in his life. So please, guys, again, go to rncstore.com/ALL, type ALL, get the 10% discount code. That's the QR code right there on the right lower side, and feel better about yourself and feel better or get better and help boost your immune system. We'll be right back, guys, right after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the America's Pulse Network. This is Alexandra Levine live. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us at America's Pulse Network. Right now, we are currently live on Facebook, X, YouTube, True Social, Parler, Rumble, TikTok, Instagram. Those are the main social medias. And as I said earlier, you can watch us on Rumble, TikTok, YouTube, etc., all at the same time. I am, in addition to my social medias. So not only am I on America's Pulse Network social medias, I'm on Alexandra Levine's social medias. So I get double the pleasure, double the fun. And of course, the more you watch, please like and subscribe. Please retweet, please repost everything. As you know, we are conservative media. We support the president, his policies. We are not the BS mainstream media. We will not report unfairly, and we are not op-ed pieces. We will report the facts as they come in. I just want to say a shout out to my mom. Happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday to a wonderful mom. I'm very fortunate in life that I have my parents. They just sent me wonderful pictures of my mom. My mom and my dad, they went out to a very nice dinner. And I'm so happy that she is happy and that she is having a great day. Shout out to my sister and her eldest daughter. My sister and her eldest daughter, they share the same birthday. January 20th, Inauguration Day. So my eldest niece was a gift to my sister. Tomorrow will be my grandfather's birthday. My mother's father, who I talk about all the time, Grandpa Lou, he passed away almost 4 years ago. If he was alive today, he'd be 103. Shout out to him. And also shout out to my Uncle Jack, which is my mother's brother-in-law. His birthday is January 24th. So this week of January is a very expensive week for my father because it's a birthday week. So it was like double trouble. January 20th, then January 22nd is my mom. January 23rd was his father-in-law. January 24th is his brother-in-law. So very expensive week in January. All Aquariuses, by the way. And then my dad and I were the October babies. So, I'm glad that my family are having great birthdays, and happy birthday to my family and many, many more. So this segment is interesting. So as you know, in segment 3, I always try to stray away from politics a little bit. And I talk about the do's and don'ts of dating in 2026. Because I have a lot of friends that are 35 years of age or older. They're single, men and women. And they really don't know how to date. And they don't know how to talk to men and women. They don't know how to interact. A lot of them are so involved with their careers that they don't see the love right in front of them. And they're very, concerned about being millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, that they forget the love of their life right in front of them. So again, as you know, I'm a big proponent of not going on the dating apps, not using JSwipe or JDate or Christian Mingle or Tinder. All of those dating apps, in my opinion, are a waste of money. And you're not even sometimes getting the real person. A lot of people are on social media because they're socially inept and they cannot talk to people in person. They hide behind a computer, they hide behind a phone. And I know a lot of people are skeptical. There has been some stories of people that they meet on, or they talk online and then they meet in person. The person's a rapist or the person's a murderer, or, you read these really heinous stories. And I agree that you should heavily vet the person that you're talking to, especially on the internet. Get their name, their number, their address, whatever. pay for a service like Truth Finder or something like that to get their background, and have them be honest about their background. If someone's a convicted felon, they need to tell you they're a convicted felon. If someone's divorced, if someone's still technically married, someone's got illegitimate children somewhere, if they got bank accounts, worldwide, like Swiss bank accounts or whatever, like you need to know everything about the person that you're about to see. But again, the online dating, why go through that? I know a lot of young people, they do speed dating too. Speed dating is better than online dating because you're at least like meeting the person in person, but that's not really a date. You only get maybe like 2 to 3 minutes to talk to that person. Then you have to decide in the 2 or 3 minutes if you want to talk to them again or if you want to have a date with them. Sometimes it's a rare moment where you can talk to that person, just know right away, instantaneously, if you want to continue. But a minute and 2 minutes isn't really a long time to really get to know somebody. And also there's another notion of young people dating for years and years and years. That's the issue that I'm finding. And I notice this, and it's become the new norm, that a lot of couples, they date for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Some of them get engaged, some of them don't. Some people live together, and it doesn't end up well in the end. Sometimes there's infidelity in those 6 or 7 years that you're living with that person. Sometimes you have, discrepancies. Sometimes you have a huge argument, and that's the whole crux of your relationship. I'm a big proponent of not dating for someone for a long time. Don't live together before marriage. Don't even have sexual relations before marriage. They say statistically that if you wait till marriage to consummate your marriage, that your marriage will actually be successful. And there's nothing wrong with holding back, girls and guys. I know they say, I'm 35 years old. That's crazy. But no, actually, it's smart. It's very smart, because when you start a relationship and you start with the sex right away, you got to know where to go. And then you question yourself, is this relationship all about sex? Is this relationship, is there something there? Does he really love me? Does she really love me? Does she want to get married? Does she want to have kids? So it's very important to kind of like hold back, have a mature relationship with someone, really get to know them. If you're a guy, take the girl on a proper date. And if you're a girl, don't say, I can't drive, more than a half hour to see you. I can't do that. Make the effort, or meet the person halfway, especially long distance relationships. If the person is in, let's say, for example, like Arkansas, and you're in Arizona, find a way to see each other halfway. People do that. If you really want to find love, you do that. You go the extra mile. As my father always says, it only takes one to get to the other. But it has to be a conjoined effort. It can't be just the girl constantly driving for the guy or the guy constantly driving for the girl. It's got to be a conjoined effort. And I will hold off on going on like big trips with a boyfriend. I wouldn't go like to Europe with a boyfriend. I wouldn't go to Israel with a boyfriend, or Tokyo with a boyfriend. No, you go with your husband. Because that's an intimate trip. That's a long distance trip. You're sitting in a flight with somebody, and you're bound to want to have sex, premarital sex, with your boyfriend or girlfriend on an overseas trip or a cruise. No, you wait till you're married to do big trips like that. It's more fun that way. Now, if you're dating someone, I agree that you should try to do like 2 to 5 hour, car rides with them. That you really get to know somebody doing that. But that's just around the country. That's not going across a lake or your boyfriend and girlfriend and you're flying to Australia. No, that's something intimate you do with your spouse. And these are successes, guys. These are successes. These are things that are proven. I told you guys I'm very traditional. I grew with traditional values, Judeo-Christian values. I'm all about that. And also it's the decision if you want to have kids or not. We say that marriage is about having children. It is. It's husband, wife, and kids. It's forming the next generation. But nowadays there's couples that get married and they don't want to have kids. Or they wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years to have kids. And then they can't have them. Or they decide, I think I'm just going to get a dog. And then you have couples where the guy wants a child and the girl does not. And it really hurts the relationship. So before you even think of getting serious with that person, talk these things out. If you want kids and they don't, that can really hurt a relationship. And maybe that person isn't the right person for you, and that's okay. But don't get stuck dating somebody for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then finding it out later. Have you and that person just lay it all out on the table, what you're looking for. And as I said last week, write out a list of qualities that you're looking for in somebody. If you're looking for a certain person who has a certain financial status or political status, you want someone that's unvaccinated or vaccinated, then that's the person that you need to hone in on. If you're looking for a guy that's 6 feet or over, then date a guy that's 6 feet or over. If you're a guy and you're looking for a girl who's on the heavy side, she's got some cellulite and she's overweight and she's 5 feet and 180 pounds, that's the type of woman you want, then that's the type of woman you want. But don't settle, guys. Don't settle. Be picky. There's nothing wrong with being picky because, again, marriage is the rest of your life. And even if you don't want to get married, being in a relationship with someone, that takes up a lot of your time too. You want to make sure that you're with the right person. You want to make sure that you can see a future with that person if you want to get married. But honestly, it's ridiculous to waste each other's time if you don't want to get married. To not get married when you're 35, 40 years old, in my opinion, is asinine. Because the girl or the guy can leave each other at any time. And you've invested so much time into that person. And if you're 35 years old and you're dating a guy for 10 years or 15 years, you reach menopause, you can't have children. So think about what you really want in life. Think about if you want to get married, if you don't want to get married, if you want to have a serious relationship or not. But I'm telling you the successes of a relationship. Don't have premarital sex and don't date the guy or the girl for years. In the Jewish religion, you're only supposed to date somebody for 3 to 6 months. And then you get engaged. If that person does not propose to you within 3 to 6 months of dating, you exit stage left, swipe left. That means that person's not serious. If you're looking for marriage. If you're not looking for marriage, it's something different. But if you're looking for marriage and you date someone for 3 to 6 months and they don't put a ring on it, they're not serious and you say, bye-bye, sayonara. And I have a lot of girlfriends that have been in that situation where they date guys and they say, oh yeah, I want to marry you and I want to have kids. And then it's a year that goes by, they don't discuss it, 2 years that goes by. And sometimes when the girl constantly discusses it, it turns the guy off. It shouldn't turn the guy off, but it does. Or unfortunately, the girls have to push the guy to go get a ring. Or they say, do you want to meet my parents yet? A girl should not have to initiate it. And this whole concept of girls proposing to guys, that's ridiculous too. That is so disgusting, actually, and so untraditional. Or I've seen photos of pregnant women proposing to their baby daddies. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. That is so unkosher. That is just ridiculous to me. A guy should have the gumption to go out and buy a ring for his woman and propose. A woman shouldn't have to do that. If a woman has to do that, it's pretty pathetic. And the guy should actually be ashamed of himself. And for the guy to get a woman knocked up and not even think about marrying her, that's disgusting too. That the pregnant woman I've seen pictures of these pregnant women, they're pregnant with twins and triplets. And they're getting down on one knee proposing to their man. That's disgusting. That the pregnant woman has to do that. Unbelievable. And I can tell you the majority of people that say they don't want to have kids, they do. They BS each other. They BS in their head. Or this whole concept, oh my God, I don't like what's going on in society with the transgender and this and that. I'm not going to have kids. I would never bring up kids in this world, in this society. That's bullshit too. That's an excuse. That means that person needs help. Because the whole point of getting married is having kids. It really is. That's a big point, especially if you're a religious person, if you're Jewish, if you're Christian, if you follow Judeo-Christian values. It's about getting married and it's about procreation. It's about forming that beautiful unborn child in your womb with God. It's you, your husband, and God with you. It's a beautiful thing. There's nothing more beautiful than watching a child growing in your belly. and watching and having your husband watch your belly grow and measuring your belly with your husband. It's a beautiful thing. I saw that with my sister when she had 3 kids, how her husband was measuring her belly every month, watching it grow, kissing her belly, taking care of her, making sure she's stress-free, making sure she's okay, making sure she's eating right. It's a beautiful thing. And my brother-in-law was literally in the hospital room with my sister, all 3 births. He didn't leave her side. Didn't matter how many hours she was in labor. He would not leave her side. He wanted to make sure that she was taken care of, that she and the baby were safe, that if she needed drugs, she got drugs. And my mother actually came into the room too, which I was shocked. But my sister wanted my mother there for all 3 births. She wanted that extra support system. And there's nothing wrong with that. But really think about your priorities, guys, because I'm telling you, people that are not married and don't have kids, they're really miserable. They're miserable people. They'll lie to you and say that their lives are great, but I know that they're miserable. So that should be everybody's goal. And we saw that with Usha Vance and Caroline Levitt and all these people that are getting pregnant. And like I said, pregnancy is contagious. But it's really important, guys, that you have a strong and good man by your side, someone that loves you and respects you, but someone that won't string you along for years. If you see the red flag, don't ignore it. But if you're in your mid-30s and up and you want to get married, you should know exactly what you want, exactly what you're looking for, and you shouldn't be dating that person for years and years. Again, give the guy 3 to 6 months. And guys, the same way. If you want to marry the woman that you're dating and you don't get the vibe that she wants to marry you after 3 months or 4 months, say sayonara. Don't feel bad. And I say to the women that have had relationships for years and they're in their mid-30s and they've wasted 3 years of their life on a man and they get scared. They say, should I leave the guy? Should I not leave the guy? If I leave, I'm going to be single again at 37. Am I going to find my next husband? I can guarantee you, you will. Because I have a lot of friends that have had those great success stories where they dated a guy for 3 to 5 years, 7 years. They finally got the gumption to break up with the motherfucker. And then they found their beshert, their soulmate 3 months later. And guess how long they dated their spouse? Maybe 4 months, got engaged, got married very quickly, had kids. So don't feel stuck. Don't feel because you've given 3 to 6 to 7 years of your life with some asshole that if you break up with him, you're going to be an old maid. I'm telling you. You have to have, the power of prayer, and you have to have the confidence. If you're a strong person, you have a strong foundation, you know what you want, you have a stable career, you're stable in the head, you will find the love of your life. You will. I don't want to get calls from my single girlfriends anymore. They don't have spouses. I'm tired of it. Enough is enough. They know what they want in life. They know what they're looking for. They just need to go out there and look for it. And I'm telling you, you will find it. I believe in my whole heart that there's somebody out there for everybody. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You could find your beshert at 40, 50, 70, 16. Doesn't matter how old you are. You're never too old and it's never too late. And I just want to put this out there because this was I was on Facebook and I was like, I get all these ads and these pop-ups and I see this girl and she kind of looks like me. Let's show the slide. So let me know, guys. So this was in Dublin, Easton, and Granville. It's called the Blowout Bar. If you go to the Blowout Bar, the Blowout spot and find this woman, I want to know her name because I swear to God, I thought that was me. As you can see, I wear my hair straight. Her hair was just freshly done. Mine was done a couple days ago, but I do wear my hair like that. And you can see like her makeup is very similar to me. She's got, she's well endowed like I am. I mean, she's got the nails like me. She's got her lips are a little bit bigger than me. Her nose is a little bit more narrow. But she's got the full eyebrows like me. Her eyes are brown. I have hazel eyes. But I'm telling you, that girl looks just like me from far away. I swear to God, I thought that was me because I used to model. I used to be a hair model years ago. I'm like, did somebody take my old hair model picture? And look, she's got the same hair color as me too. She copied my hair color. So I'm like, good Lord. I'm like, that is a spitting image of me. I was shocked when I saw that. I was like, did they take an old picture of me and like put it in Dublin? Damn, I want 10%. I want 50%. I'm just saying, if you guys think that's me, I want to know. Because I've been posting that everywhere. I send that to everybody. But that girl is my doppelganger. But if anybody on my show is in Dublin, Easton, Grandview, and know that girl, I'll have her on my show. I would love to interview her. I swear to God, that girl looks just like me from far away. I swear to God, if you're swiping, that girl looked just like me. I was shocked. I was really, really shocked. So as you know, guys, we are going into campaign season. You're going to be seeing a lot of candidates that I'll be interviewing on my show because we are in what we call candidate hour. If you are a candidate now running for Congress, running for a municipality, running for governor, and you are not campaigning and you're just starting out, get out of the race. You're not going to win. Because in some states, you have until like February to file, and then your midterm or your primaries either May, June, March, April, August. Like, what the hell are you waiting for? So if you're, again, a serious candidate that is serious about winning, book a consultation with me today. Go to levineconsulting.co. Go to my Calendly. It's a 15-minute consultation, and hopefully you're serious enough and you really want to work. But do not make an appointment with me if you're like, oh, I'm just starting out on my campaign. My primary is like in a few months. No, you're not going to win. You're just not going to win. I'm sorry. You're not going to win. You know, I mean, if you think you're a shoo-in, you're not, because you have to do some work. You have to do some work before you even call me. I'm not doing your entire campaign for you. Sorry, not doing it. But this is somebody that I have worked for 6 years. I'm working for him now. He will win. I will be his chief of staff. He is running in the most pro-Trump America First district in Baltimore County, the new District 9. His name is Tim Fazenmaker, and you know I talk about him all the time, but he is great. And he just did a huge event last Saturday with syndicated radio TV host Rob Carson. He had over 100 people there. He made a buttload of money, and he's just kicking butt. And he has been campaigning for a year and a half. He's currently the incumbent on the Central Committee where he is, so he is an elected official. He ran for Congress. Everybody knows him from there. Please go to timfazenbaker.com, TIMFAZNBAKER.com. Make a donation to him directly, not the Central Committee, not the RNC. timfazenbaker.com. He has secure Anadot. And if I were you guys, I would do a monthly recurrence, just a monthly recurrence of whatever amount you want. Most people are giving him $200 plus. He's been getting thousands of dollars from big corporations. They love him. Even rhinos and Democrats have come out in support of him, and they're like, dude, you're going to win. So that tells you a lot. And these are rhinos and Democrats that have like crapped on him for years, and they're all like, you know what, Tim, you're right, and you're going to win. And this, our friend Barry O'Connell, who's a moderate Democrat, he's a Reagan Democrat, he created this meme, Energy and Economic Development for Baltimore County, elect a true conservative to the council, Tim Fazenmaker. And Tim is fighting every single day to combat the two anti-ICE legislations that Jewish Democrat Itzi Patoka, Baltimore County councilman and candidate for Baltimore County Executive Democrat want to push. So if you want to know all about Tim, go on his Facebook. He's very accessible. Tim Fazenmaker on Facebook. He's at Tim Faze on TikTok, Instagram, and at America1 Tim Faze on X. But his Facebook is awesome. His Facebook is where he gets the most views, and that's where you can find him and all of his videos. And go to Tim at timfazenbaker.com. That's his email. And go to timfazenbaker.com to make a donation today. And of course, we have my good friend Kimberly Stansberry, who's running for Baltimore County Executive. She is kicking butt. She is raising money. Nobody even knows about her opponent. Her opponent actually is in the hole. Her opponent, I think, raised like, I don't know, $46,000, and then he spent $24,000. So he only has $24,000. He's running for Baltimore County Executive. She's got a lot more money than him. So go to elect Kimberly Stansberry or electkimstansberry.org. She's a great woman. She's a strong woman. Tim is the reason why I know her. She knows legislation like no other. She loves her county. She loves the people. She's a clean woman with a clean record. Her husband served our nation. He was a Vietnam veteran. He died of Agent Orange. And before he died, he said, Kim, you need to run for Baltimore County Executive. It's your destiny. When I die, I want you to continue fighting for Baltimore County and continue fighting for this country. And she's a mother. She's a grandmother. And she's a wholesome woman from Towson. Please, again, don't go to Central Committee to give her money or RNC or whatever, or any caucus. go directly to our website, electkimstansberry.org, and give her a donation today. And of course, we have our good friend Seth Eisenberg of the Conservative Corner. We're always fighting for him, and we're always trying to help him with his campaign, his GoFundMe, help by donating to Jonah Eisenberg to overcome a financial health crisis. Mr. Eisenberg is working 2 jobs right now, in addition to taking care of his son, in addition to taking care of other people in his household, paying off his mortgage. He almost lost his foot twice. He has had a hell of a year, guys. Hell of a year. He's under tremendous debt with medical expenses, and we need to help him out. We need to get back to our veterans. What happened to him, you don't want to happen to you. He had a huge infection in his foot. He almost lost his foot twice. So please, guys, go to GoFundMe.com/help/Jonah Eisenberg/overcome a financial health crisis. Donate to him today. He's already raised over $6,400. The goal is $10,000. The final goal is $100,000. We need to help him out. He's a veteran. He served our Navy. Instead of giving $1.3 million to Renee Good, who was not good, and that's why she was murdered, and instead of giving millions of dollars to these rapists and these pedophiles and these criminals, why don't you give $1 million to Jonah Eisenberg? He would love that. We need to get him out of the hole, guys. We need to help him out. And of course, we have other people on our network, such as Damon Galdo of the Jersey Shore. He's running for Congress in New Jersey Congressional District 1. Go to damongaldo.com. You can donate to his campaign. And of course, he is the Hammer. He has his own show here on America's Pulse Network, the Jersey Shore, every Monday night from 8 to 9 p.m. and Friday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. He's also always on the Pulse. If you didn't watch him last night, I advise you to watch the repeat. He hosted a great show last night, and we want to help him out. And of course, we have Justin Murphy, who comes on our show on the Pulse. He's been interviewed by many of us. He's running for the United States Senate in New Jersey. Go to justinmurphyforsenate.com. Awesome guy. He'll be on my show again. He'll be on the Pulse. He's one of our special guests. Awesome guy. He's 60 years old. He looks like he's 40. He's been in politics since 1980. He's a Trump supporter. He's a lawyer. I mean, he is just a very smart individual and knows politics like no other. So please, guys, go to Justin Murphy for Senate for New Jersey. Do it today. And again, don't forget, guys, we have the Pulse every Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. You never know who's hosting, whether it's going to be me or Damon Galdo or Seth Eisenberg. We are going to have some special guests that are hosting. Tim Fazenbaker will be hosting a couple shows in February. Elena Barber from The Base Mother will be hosting in February. She'll be filling in for me. I will not be live on Tuesday night, so we'll either have a repeated show or one of my colleagues will fill in for me. I will be in Columbus, Ohio, at a training for insurance. Yay. I'd rather be with you guys, to be honest with you. But please, guys, don't forget to watch the Conservative Corner every Sunday night from 7 to 8:30 p.m. You never know what Popeye the Sailor Man is going to say. But we love him. You can follow him on Facebook at the Conservative Corner, not Seth Conservative on X. Don't forget to follow Damon Galdo on Facebook and at Damon Galdo on X. Yep, Damon is a good man. I saw him last night. Yeah, he's awesome. Damon Galdo is amazing. And of course, guys, don't forget to follow me, Alexandra Levine, on Facebook, at Alexandra Levi20, on X, at A.L.L Levine85, on Rumble, on True Social, on Instagram, on Parler, on TikTok, on all the major social media networks. Have a great weekend, guys. Be safe. I say to the people that are going through this major snowstorm coming up this weekend in parts of Maryland, DC, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, etc. And then in Ohio, they're getting a winter storm on Sunday, all day Sunday. It's been snowing in Ohio every day, every 3 days, every week. Please, guys, be safe. Don't drive in hazardous conditions if you're told not to. Don't walk in it if you don't have to, because the temperatures are going to get low. It's even getting cold in Florida, where I'm from. It's cold for Florida. It's snowing in Florida, of all places. It's snowing. Please, guys, be safe. Really look at the weather. If it looks bad outside, it probably is. You do not want to drive in that crap. You do not want to drive in heavy bands of snow. There's been snow squalls all over the country. This has been like the worst winter ever. I've never seen it like this before. Never. God, I hope we get a really hot summer. I hope that the groundhog comes out and doesn't see a shadow so we don't have more winter. But this has been such a bad winter. It really has. But please, guys, be safe. The reason you listen and the reason you watch is you are no idiot. Have a good night.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up, because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, Elena, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution, because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
Alexandra, thank you for watching tonight's Alexandra Levine Live podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to informative topics that will keep you informed. So, please click the subscribe button to get notified for upcoming episodes. If you like what the Alexandra talks about, then share the Alexandra Levine Live podcast with others. Alexandra also looks forward to seeing you on the next upcoming episode.
Alexandra Levine welcomes you to the Alexandra Levine Live podcast. Today, we are repeating episode number 199 podcast. It will cover from breaking news to informative topics that will keep you well informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of her upcoming episodes. If you like what Alexandra talks about, then please share the Alexandra Levine Live to others. Alexandra also looks forward to being live on this Thursday's episode. Tonight's Alexandra Levine Live podcast starts now.